Alright, I'm going to address this again because the last one got demonetized, so I took that one down. Okay, they are monetizing the epidemic that's got people slumped over. We're not going to name any of the substances, but the epidemic that has got people slumped over in downtown and the one that arose from the pill situation that happened all throughout the 90s and 2000s, the Sackler family, right? See, back in my day, it wasn't that much of a problem because there was only a small number of people who used the brown stuff, used the black stuff from, the stuff you get from Mexico or from China, things of this nature, the China white. There was only a small number of people who did it, a very small number of people. A lot of these were people who came back from Vietnam, things of this nature. And every once in a while, one of them would do a little bit too much and their life would be taken, you know what I mean? They would end up losing it. Now, it's affecting a vast number of people, and the government looked around and they said, well, what are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about this epidemic? We can't stop it from coming across the border, right? Well, they're just going to monetize it. They just found a way to monetize it. Probation, parole, sober living homes, rehabs, all of this. They shuffle them from one to the next. They shove them in there. They make sure that they got Medicaid. I know because I had a job doing this, signing people up for Medicaid. I worked for a sober living home. I signed people up for Medicaid, signed people up for food stamps. You sign them up for Medicaid. You start billing their Medicaid for their rent and for their treatment and for whatever else billable hours that you can. You get all this money coming in. And then whenever they inevitably relapse, because these substances are crazy addictive, whenever they inevitably relapse, you send them right back. You send them to the next sober living house down the street. And it turns out this person owns this sober living house, but they know somebody else who owns the next sober living house down the way. And they just do the rounds from the sober living house to rehab, to sober living house, back and forth to detox. And they're just running up the bill with Medicaid, just running up the bill with the federal government. They're monetizing it.